Sometimes craft shows bring some surprises. Let me shed a little light on what happened to us and what we've decided to do for the next time we have this issue. So welcome back to Santa's Workshop. Appreciate you stopping in. I hope this video is informative for you because the experience was definitely informative for me. This video will give you something else you need to put in your arsenal of your craft materials. So we went to a festival, a county festival, and we're set up inside the convention center. The convention center has a stage in it, and we were set up in the room that had the stage. So you can see in this photo, this is our setup as we were working on it, and you can see that I also have the tent up. This is a very important part of what happened to us. Once everything was set up, they had had a parade prior to our setup. When the parade was over with, people started coming in, and it was a steady crowd. We had a lot come by and look, and there was actually some people buying. And ultimately, the day was not a bad day because we did make a profit off of the festival itself. But there was one issue that we did not see coming. And honestly, I had done in my earlier days craft shows selling candles. And I'd never had this problem before. So here's what happened. At 11:30, 12 o'clock, somewhere in there, they started a pageant, which was followed by a talent show. And they turned the lights off. So here we are in our tent, in the dark, trying to sell product with no light. And so the first thing you do is like everybody else, you grab your phone and people are coming in and we're taking this phone, and myself and Mrs. Claus, aka Tracy, are showing customers everything with our flashlights. If it had just been a few minutes, I don't think I would have any problem with it. But it did bring up a point that I needed to address. We didn't have any light and we had no way to get a light. So you'll notice on this photo of our tent actually has a light in it, in the dark. That is because the vendor that was beside us was a heating and air company. And they had offered us one of their lights that they put either in the attic or down in the crawl space when they go check a job, which was a godsend ultimately because we were able to sell through that entire episode. So when the show was over with, I asked the guy where he'd got his from. Now this was a Milwaukee job light, and I looked online earlier, and I think it was $700 to $800 for this light, and I just could not afford to do that for our craft show. So I got on Amazon, and I'll show you what I've come up with for now. So the search on Amazon ended up leading me to what they were calling camping lights. These things are popular with campers, and they're very bright actually. So here's the ones that I purchased. So this is a 2-pack of lights, and as you can see, it's $38. And you'll notice down at the bottom that I actually bought the 60 watt. And I also like the fact that these things are a battery bank, so we can run other electronics if we need to, or if we need to charge our phone for just a little bit while we're at a craft show. And you can see that you have a beam angle up to 120 degrees. And then on top of that, it lasts approximately 50,000 hours on the LED. And so here it is. You've actually got a little hook up top. They can actually hang it up in the tent with. And I don't know if you saw it in the photo a minute ago, but right here, you've got the power button, and you'll notice when I turn it on, there's a LED readout that tells you how much battery you've got. So this is high, this is low, and then it's got a flashing mode, and then of course it's back off. And then underneath the orange piece right there is where you charge it along with the hookup for your battery bank. So just a few final items here we'll talk about. It's actually magnetic on top, so you can take and mount it up that way if you want to. Also, it's vented up top so that it vents what little bit of heat that the LED will actually emit. And then on top of that, it has a screw in here that I would assume you put into like a tripod or something like that if you want to use it that way. And to demonstrate how much light you've got, I've put it in my 10 by 16 building, and you can see that about a 10 by 10 tent will be well lit. And so there you go. That's what I ended up doing to hopefully solve the problem the next time we have an issue like this. Like I said, it was very unique, but I know you get a lot of you guys out there, you take your lasers with you and you have battery backups that you use for your laser machine. But what happens if it goes dark? And so this was a chance to give you an opportunity to look at these different camp lights. And I'm sure there's other lights out there, but I'm going to put a link in the description to these lights. You can look at those. You can look at the other ones. I just picked these based off of mainly price more than anything else. So anyway, hope this helps you in some way. If it does, please like and subscribe. And you guys have a wonderful day.